Why, hello, young lady. How kind of you to grace an old man with your lovely presence.
Are you Dr. Gilbert Buford?
I'm delighted to report that I am indeed.
Your answering service said I'd probably find you here.
This here is my favorite spot in the whole city. Delicious gumbo, pleasing view, particularly now, I might add.
My name's Bess Marvin. I'd like to ask you some questions about Bruno Bollet, if that's okay?
I'd prefer subject matter of a happier nature, but I do not want to seem inhospitable, so what is it you want to know?
Is it true that Dr. Bollet was your best friend?
Well, now, I was certainly his best friend, but I cannot honestly say that he was mine. Fact is, while socializing with my fellow man, particularly with pretty young women such as yourself, has always been a source of pleasure for me, Bruno was just the opposite. Unfortunately, the older he got, the more numerous his idiosyncrasies became, and the less concerned about their negative effect upon others he became.
His idiosyncrasies didn't bother you?
Now, as a doctor of medicine, I am not only accustomed to dealing with the abnormal, but I find that I'm actually drawn to it. I, for one, thoroughly enjoyed Bruno's outlandish personality, although at the same time I fear it may have played a role in his demise. You see, he died of a myocardial infarction, most likely caused by age-related atherosclerosis. Dying of a heart attack is all too common for people who are socially isolated, and Bruno Bollet had most certainly become that.
Did they do an autopsy on Dr. Bollet?
No. Given Bruno's advanced age and the absence of any indication of foul play, an autopsy was deemed unnecessary, and the body was cremated according to Bruno's wishes.
I hear that you're a member of the Jolly Rogers crew. Is that true?
Perhaps I am. Perhaps I am not. I'm sure someone as charming and attractive as yourself has her share of secrets, too. Am I right?
Be that as it may, just what is a crew?
Crews are organizations whose primary purpose is to put on parades during Mardi Gras. They also put on fabulous parties. Very private parties. Members only. Some consider crews to be private clubs. Secret societies is a term others have used. However, back in the 1990s, the city decided not to issue the Jolly Rogers any more parade permits, unless they opened their crew to pretty much anyone who wanted to join. So, refusing to be blackmailed, they chose instead to simply not put on parades anymore. As far as the city is concerned, the Jolly Rogers no longer exist.
Are you saying the Jolly Rogers do still exist?
Perhaps. Perhaps not.
Did Dr. Bollet ever say anything to you about owning a crystal skull?
Why, yes. Yes, he did. In fact, he showed it to me once. Said it had magical powers. Said owning it was going to allow him to live forever. I thought it was utter nonsense and told him so. Well, he didn't appreciate that at all. Refused to talk to me for a full 2 weeks.
Do you have any idea where he kept it?
No. He was terrified that someone would steal it from him, so he told no one its location. Not even me. Tell me, Miss Bess, what do you know about that crystal skull?
This friend of mine, who is also a friend of Henry Bollet, you know, Dr. Bollet's great-nephew. Anyway, while she was visiting Henry, she saw this book in Bruno's library about the legendary crystal skulls and was kind of intrigued and thought that since Henry said that you were pretty much Bruno's only friend, maybe Bruno had said something to you about it, and as it turns out, he had. That's all I know.
I see. Well, much as I'd like to believe that skull holds the key to immortality, I'm afraid Bruno's passing proves it's worthless. Although it would make an attractive paperweight, as I recall. Tell your friend not to give it another thought.
Dr. Bollet's housekeeper says you just happened to walk in just as he was having his heart attack. Is that true?
Indeed it is. I hadn't seen him for a while, so I picked that day to pay him a visit. I walked up to the front door, found it unlocked as usual, opened it, and there he was, lying on the floor in obvious distress. The next thing I know, his housekeeper came running in and started shrieking and carrying on, until finally I sent her out of the room so she could summon an ambulance, and I could once again hear myself think. Well, let's see. Then I knelt down and saw that he wasn't breathing. So I pulled him away from the doorway so I'd have more room to work on him and began chest compressions. I continued until the medics arrived, but nothing they did made a difference either.
Why would he have a heart attack in the foyer?
That's always been a bit of a puzzlement to me, too.
Can you remember anything that might indicate what he was doing by the front door? I mean, had he just come in from a walk? Was he wearing a hat? Was he holding anything? Had he dropped something? An umbrella? Sunglasses?
Wait a minute. Why, yes, he was holding something. A piece of paper. And on the floor next to him was an envelope. He must have collapsed while reading a letter.
Do you remember anything else?
Believe me, young lady, it's quite miraculous that I've remembered this much. Now, I know the letter was no longer in Bruno's hand when the paramedics arrived, so perhaps he released the letter when I moved him. And yet, I do not recall seeing it on the floor when they wheeled him out the door. Iggy.
What's icky?
Iggy. Iggy is an iguana Bruno befriended, then turned loose in his home. It soon developed the annoying habit of stealing paper and stockpiling it in the vent system.
Did you see Iggy while you were tending to Bruno that day?
No, but then I rarely ever saw Iggy. Moreover, it would not have been the first time a missing document ended up in Iggy's possession. Renee would periodically call me saying the lizard had absconded with one of Bruno's prescriptions and would I please write her up a replacement. In any case, Bruno once told me he was training Iggy. Said he taught Iggy to retrieve the things it had stolen.
Do you think it's possible that Renee caused Dr. Bolles's death by, say, hoarding the pills from those missing prescriptions and giving them to him all at once?
No. Had he died of an overdose of the medications I had prescribed, the manner of his death would have been quite different. But he died of a heart attack. Of that I am certain. However, I know for a fact that Renee is deeply involved in the practice of hoodoo. And as Bruno's housekeeper, she had ample opportunity to use it against my poor old friend.
You're not serious.
Young lady, never, ever underestimate the power of suggestion. If a person believes in something, even on a subconscious level, fantasy can easily become fact. And who knows what rubbish Renee filled Bruno's mind with? Drink this, don't eat that, this brings good luck, that brings bad, day in and day out. Even if he said he didn't believe a word of it, who knows how much his subconscious was absorbing? He was very old and vulnerable. So could Renee have caused Bruno to have that fatal heart attack? There's not a doubt in my mind she could indeed.
Thanks for your time.
It's been a pleasure, I assure you.
I can check that off.
Hello?
Bess here. Oops. Looks like Dr. Buford decided he's had enough gumbo.
He's not at Granny Pumpkin's anymore?
Nope. But here's what else I've learned since I talked to you last.
And that's all she wrote.
Excellent. Thanks for the report.
Stay in touch. See ya. Hello?
Hi, Bess. How you doing?
Great. I just took a nice, luxurious bubble bath and I'm ready to boogie. When are you coming back here?
That's still kind of hard to say, but listen. Remember that old photo of a boy and his dog you said you saw in that box of stuff Henry sold to Lamont?
Yeah?
Did it look like it was maybe taken in the 1920s?
That's exactly what it looked like. Why?
Because I need to find out the name of Bruno Bolles's dog. And if that boy was Bruno, then that was probably his dog. Was there any writing on the picture?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I think it said Bruno.
That's all it said? Just Bruno?
No, it said Bruno but whatever came after and was hidden by the frame.
I really need to know the name of that dog.
Oh, no. No, you don't. No more snooping.
Bess, just get into that box again and see if the dog's name is on that picture. That's all I want you to do.
How? I can't just go waltzing into Lamont's back room.
And he's for sure as heck not gonna fall for that sneeze contraption again.
There must be some other way you can distract him. Please, Bess, I can't tell you how important this is. You gotta do this for me, please.
Okay. We're not gonna have any fun here until you solve this mystery, and since you can't do that until I do this... Okay, I'll sneak into the back room and take another look at that photo. I mean, I will if I don't screw up.
Think positive, Bess. You're gonna do fine.
You bet I am. In fact, I'm not going to call you again until I have seen that picture. I'm going in.
You go, girl.
Hey!
In all your journeys through the wonderful world of junk, have you ever come across one of those legendary crystal skulls?
What makes you ask that?
You have so many other oddities in here, I was just wondering.
No. I know the legend, of course, and I sure wouldn't mind getting my hands on one of those babies. I mean, I could sell it for a fortune. But no such luck. Funny. I've been thinking about those skulls lately. A lot.
Really? Hey, maybe we got some kind of psychic thing going here. Quick, think of a number between 1 and 10 and I'll try to guess it. You thinking of a number? Okay, 4.
9.
Darn. Guess it was just a coincidence.
Guess so.
That gumbo stand outside? What do you think? Is it pretty authentic?
Outstanding! Just watch the hot sauce. Whatever's in it gives my stomach instant fits.
You know, I still feel guilty about that sneezing thing, so how about I go and get you a nice big bowl of gumbo?
Just so happens I'm starving, so hey, you got a deal.
Great. I'll be right back.
Can I help you?
Can I get a gumbo to go, please?
Eat up.
That my gumbo?
There you go. Enjoy.
Uh-oh. Oh, you're gonna have to excuse me.
I can't leave yet. I still have to see if the name of Bruno's dog is on that old photo. Uh-oh. I better get out of here.
Grant? The dog's name was Grant?
That's what it said on the photo.
Kind of a weird name for a dog, huh?
Yeah, well, Bruno Bollet was kind of a weird guy. Hey, thanks a lot, Bess. You've been a huge help.
I'll tell you, being sneaky takes a lot out of me. I'm exhausted.
I still don't know when I'll get back there, so just kind of hang loose, okay?
Story of my life. Call me if you need me.
I will. Bye. Can't check that off yet. Check. Did that. Still have to do that.